Good morning, folks. It is about 4 a.m. and I am making this video because I just celebrated my 2-year anniversary with my Ram 1500. So I figured I would kind of go over here, a little driving review of my truck, and go over some pros and cons as well, tell you what I've done to the vehicle and for how many miles I've owned it. So, turn on my heated seat here. It's actually kind of chilly out this morning. So, I just want to go over here what trim this is, what truck it is. It's the 2019 Ram 1500 Laramie with the Sport package. It has the off-road group. It has the panoramic sunroof. It's Laramie level 2 equipment. It has the air suspension, the surround view camera, and the Harman Kardon sound system. Along with the off-road group comes the hill descent control and the axle lock, along with some skid plates on the bottom. Laramie Sport, of course, is the body color bumpers and the Sport hood, which you really can't see here very well, among other stuff here. So what I added to the truck was the Gibson exhaust, which you can hear, and I'll get a clip of that here as well. And I added the rims to it. It actually came with the truck when I bought it used, but that was added to it. If you've seen any of my other videos, I have these really cool Fuel 20-inch cleaver wheels on here, or rims, and I did add the BF Goodrich TAKO2 off-road tires to it as well. That was a must-have on all my trucks. I've had those, and they performed really, really well. So I do like that. I did add a cold air intake as well, and I've been happy with that. You know, it increases performance, not necessarily in gas because you're shoving on the throttle a little bit more, but I've been happy with that as well. This also does have the Hemi with the e-torque. So that is supposed to add, I want to say, another 110 foot-pound torque to the truck, which it definitely is noticeable compared to the stock Ram, at least to my last Ram 1500 I had. So I do have to say, I've had this for 2 years, and I'm just turned 26 literally the other day. I've owned 9 vehicles, so this is one of the 9. That's not like a proud thing I have to say, but the longest vehicle I've owned has been my 2017 Ram 1500 Night Edition, which was my dream vehicle here, or dream truck I should say, you know, back then, and I ended up buying it. I owned that for 2.5 years, so I just have to own this for another 6 months, and this will be the longest vehicle I've ever owned. Which is pretty cool. So, to my point, what makes me want to own this vehicle that long? Well, paying the debt down is part of it, but my payment isn't too bad on the vehicle because I had so much equity in my old truck that when I traded it in, I was able to get basically the same payment within $2 to $3 as my old truck, which is saying that my loan on this truck was the same size as my loan on my other truck when I bought it. So, just simply put, the next thing is the interior comfort, the interior tech, and the exterior styling. So, there is currently no new Ram truck on the market. The only thing they've really updated with these trucks have been some rim choices, and this center display right there is now digital in the 2023s, which it is the year 2023. So that's really the only thing that they've added. They've added some other tech too, In the limiteds, comes with a head-up display now and some trailer backup control, but I don't need that. That's not something I don't need. I'm more interested in the air suspension for towing, which I do, and the off-road group, which is very, very helpful in the wintertime if I'm driving on the lake ice fishing. So this truck in 2019, or when I bought it in 2021, had every option the Laramie could have on it, and the price reflected it. But that is why, one of the reasons why I kept it, because it's got all the options that I need, and the new trucks just don't have any more options than what this one has that I would want. Maybe a Limited has cooled rear seats, but nobody ever rides in the back of this truck, so I don't really need cooled rear seats per se. The exterior looks good as well. I wasn't a huge fan of this redesign when it happened. In 2019, I was actually looking at buying a brand new 2019, which at the time I should have done before inflation hit, but who knew that was going to happen? So I wasn't a huge fan of the redesign in 19, but now that I've been seeing these on the road for 4 years now, I like it a lot. I really like the design of this. Paired it with the rims and the wheels. I have to say this is definitely one of my favorite looking trucks on the road today. And when I get to the shop, I will show you that. Mind you, it has rain, so the truck may be a little dirty, but oh well. So that's another reason why I'm not going to upgrade here, and why I love this truck. And it just looks really good with this Delmonico red paint on it as well. So with the air suspension, and this is something that was new to me, with the air suspension, you are going to get a little bit of a stiffer ride than normal. And even if you put it into aero mode, it still is a fairly stiff ride. And that could be because of the tires too. I don't run, high pressure my tires though, to kind of, make up for that harder ride. I just put it at the bare minimum that it needs to be, 32 PSI or whatever. So it is a little bit stiffer than the norm, especially over bumps. There's really no difference between normal and aero mode. The aero mode does lower the suspension an inch, so it does kind of soften it up a little bit. But again, it is stiffer than the stock coil suspension. So that is something to keep in mind if you are looking at these trucks. That air suspension, if you need it for towing, which I like for towing and putting on trailers a lot, that it is going to be a little bit stiffer than the norm. More like your traditional truck setup, I guess, with leaf springs in the back. But it is still four-corner suspension. It just gives you that adjustability and that different height difference if you're, going off-road, or if you are towing something, which is pretty cool. The next thing about this truck here that you need to know is that this Hemi e-torque engine, while it is nice, it does have the auto stop start. I don't plan on keeping this truck like a super long time. We're talking 150, 200,000 miles. So I don't think I'm going to have any issues with the cylinder deactivation or the e-torque when it comes to the auto stop start or just normal daily usage. So I'm not too worried about that. But just keep in mind that it does have like all Hemis, it does have the cylinder deactivation, and it does have that auto stop start. Now, where you are going to like the Hemi e-torque is if you drive in a city, you're sitting in traffic, it's definitely going to save you gas mileage. Now, right now, that's the highest MPG I've gotten all summer because I just reset it. Otherwise, this truck for me, I get roughly 15 to 16 miles to the gallon. I don't stop a lot where the e-torque comes into play. So for me, it really doesn't do me any good. Now, where I like the e-torque is the extra little bit of added horsepower and the added torque. Off the line, this truck is fairly fast for a truck. It really kicks it down off the line, which is nice if you're towing something or if you're just driving along. That's something that I can appreciate a ton as somebody who owns a 300 SRT8 as well. So that's kind of cool. I would, if I was buying another truck, I don't think I would buy the e-torque new because it's such an expensive option. It's like a $3,000 or $4,000 option. But I can tell you, I would buy one used because that really doesn't affect the price too much. So that's a little cool touch here as well. In terms of exterior quality here, everything in the interior, this is a 4-year-old truck, mind you. I've owned it for 2 years. This is garaged basically 80% of its life, I would say. So, you know, it's never really sitting out in any hot sun because I work all the time. And in the summertime, I mainly drive my car. So this is just not sitting outside that much. I would say 80% of its life it's in the garage, except for the little bit in the wintertime it has to sit out, and some of these summer nights where I decide to drive this if it's raining out or whatever. So the interior is held up flawlessly. No panels are loose. None of the glue is coming undone. The touchscreen is holding up very well. The leather is holding up excellent. And, you know, no complaints there. This interior, I have to say, and this is what all the Stellantis vehicles are going for, this interior is so much better put together in these redesigned Stellantis vehicles than their old style stuff. So even this generation Charger, Challenger, Durango, 300, whatever, this new interior from Stellantis is just holding up so much better than anything else that they've made before. And that even goes for the Durango. We just recently bought a 2021 Durango RT Tow and Go, and while that is really nice with a little bit of redesign from that Uconnect 10 that they have in there, you can tell that it is a 2011 vehicle basically, with the interior quality that they use with that truck. So this interior is just a world step. It's worlds better. It's a step up from any other interior that they've done for the Ram trucks. And now that the Jeeps are starting to kind of take hold with that as well, you know, Stellantis quality just keeps going up and up and up. And that's another reason why I'm not going to step up into a new truck. Unless I buy a TRX, which is possible in the future once this gets paid off, then there is a slight chance that I would stick with this generation. But I don't see myself buying another 5th gen Ram truck. I see myself either waiting for the Ram Rev, or I see myself waiting until there comes, you know, a time when the 6th generation Ram comes out, because there's no real point for me to buy another truck in the same generation, and then that second truck be waiting. Now I'll be waiting a couple years for that 6th generation to come out, and then it does come out, but I'm still owning that 5th generation truck, and then now I'm stuck with the old thing. So it makes no sense for me. I don't like to be stuck with the old thing with my, you know, main vehicle like this truck here. So I don't see myself upgrading because the interior quality on this truck is just so good. And this is a Laramie. This is not a Limited, mind you, either. So the Limited steps up the interior that much more. In terms of exterior, again, my truck is garage 80% of the time. I do auto detailing as well, so I threw a nice ceramic coat on this truck, and make sure, you know, in the winter time I'm washing it at least 1 to 2 times per week, so nothing is, you know, sticking to the truck basically. And the exterior is held up very, very, very well. You know, you get rock chips and whatever. I don't have PPF on here, so you do get the rock chips, but the exterior is holding up excellently. As long as you take care of it, you give it a weekly. If you're not like me and super OCD, or if you don't have a garage, give it a weekly wash. You know, give it a weekly hand wash. and make sure the black trim is all up to date in terms of spraying it with some black trim coating and giving it that hand wash with a really nice topper, and this exterior will continue to shine forever. As the years have gone on, Stellantis has used better paint quality, so the exteriors will hold up better than before. That I really don't have any complaints about the exterior. Everything has held up well. The one thing that just is really iffy, and it's because of the actual bed cover, the Mopar bed cover, mind you, the factory bed cover, is the tailgate doesn't always unlock when you press the unlock button right there. It just doesn't seem to work right because the tonneau cover holds up the bed, the tailgate, which kind of sucks. So keep that in mind if you're looking for a tonneau cover on one of these things. But overall, I have to say I'm very impressed with the truck. I see no reason to upgrade. I've had it for 2 years. I really haven't had anything wrong with it, and that brings me to the issues that I've had wrong with this truck. So I did have to take it in and have the Uconnect worked on when I first bought it. I didn't think the audio was loud enough, so I had the warranty on it. It cost me, it was like $100 deductible. So I had them completely overhaul and update the Uconnect system, and that seemed to help the radio in terms of loudness. So that was nice. Otherwise, knock on wood, I haven't had any issues on this truck. I'll have a few, occasionally in the wintertime, it'll say that the mass module unit, which is the vibrational damper, is going out on the left side, but it just flashes on and flashes off. So that I took that into the dealer, they looked at it. I haven't had a problem since. I didn't have to pay anything for that. So I just haven't had any. Oh, look at that cute little cat. Geez, little nipper, get across. Anyway, I haven't had any issues with the truck, which has been sweet. And that's why you buy one of these trucks with this pushrod V8. It's been around forever. The engine, the Hemi, has been around forever. So all of the tech has been tuned, and it has been redone and reworked to perfection here over the last 20 years, basically. This 5.7 has been out. So I haven't had any issues with the truck, and I mean, everything has been greatly reliable. My last 2 Hemi trucks that I had, I really didn't have any issues with them. That's why I'll continue to buy them, although the Hemi is going away, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do for my next truck. But anyway, I have had 0 issues with this truck. A little bit of warranty work here on the touchscreen system for the audio, and that is it. So overall, I have to say I am truly impressed with the last 2 years of this truck. I bought it in April 6th or August 6th in 2021. It is now August 12th today, 13th today. Finally had time to drive the truck and make a little review about it here. So we're going to pull it into the shop, and I'm going to show you the exterior and the engine bay and kind of give my last final thoughts on it. So we just pulled into the garage here. It is a little dirty. It is a little wet. The roads were pretty wet coming in. But you can see here the rims. I am going to do a little review on the tires here coming up. I bought these 2 years ago and put about 20,000 miles on them, and they've actually held up 25,000 miles on them, and they've actually held up pretty good. But overall, I have to say I'm very happy with the exterior. Everything is holding up well. The air suspension is holding up very, very well. I did throw a little leveling kit on the truck, which is essentially that right there. The wheel well liners have held up well. The front of the truck, I don't try to drive too close to people just because of the rock chips, but the front for 67,000 miles has been holding up very well. There's no noticeable rock chips in it if you look at the camera. 0, and I try to take care of those with a little touch-up paint here. But overall, it's a very, very swell looking truck. I'm very happy with how everything looks on it. With the paint color, everything is just great. If we look underneath here, you can see it's got the off-road protection group, which essentially adds all the skid plates to the bottom so it protects it from anything, which is sweet, and gives it a factory 1-inch lift from the factory. I said that twice, nice. So it's lifted 1 inch over standard, over a stock truck, which is also pretty cool. So we're going to pop the hood here, take a look at the Hemi, and call it good. So it would be nice if these vents were real, but they're not, which is kind of a bummer. All right, it's a 2-hood job, or a 2-hand job to get the hood open. So you can see I cleaned this, I sprayed this and cleaned this engine bay here within the last couple months, but it appears I have to do it again. So here's my K&N Cold Air intake. It is really nice. I wish it was an open design, but when I bought it, I just knew I had to get the box because it is a truck. So you don't want to be sucking in like way too much dust or whatever. So I got that, but I could clean this again, although it still looks pretty clean for the truck. Overall, I'm very happy. I'm very, very happy with this e-torque system, as you can see right there. Very happy with the normal Hemi. It roars, it screams, it does very, very well. So, again, I like the e-torque. For me, it works very well. Just an overall good-looking truck. So we're going to close the hood. It's way up there. And that will do it for my 2-year review. I love the truck. I'm definitely going to hold on to it. If you folks are out in the market looking for a truck, take a look at this Ram. It's got a lot of luxury features. The newer ones even have more. It looks good. It drives fantastic. The Hemi is great if you add a custom exhaust. Even without, it still sounds good. And the interior quality is enough to make you very, very happy. So take a look at it. This is definitely a truck that I give an 8 out of 10. If I had a limited, it would probably go to a 9 out of 10. So good luck shopping. I love this truck. I love it.